Is your trades training running on empty or fueling your passion? If you want to dramatically change the impact of your lessons, you need to change from boring lectures to Socratic engagement. My name's Ryan Burton, and 23 years ago, I stepped into HVAC and refrigeration thinking it might be a solid career move. I had no idea how it would shape my life or the things that it would teach me. Along the way, I met people who became more to me than just experts in the trade. They became the mentors and eventually the colleagues who still push me to this day. They taught me more about how to learn versus what to learn, and they lit a fire in me that's never gone out. In the world of skilled trades, there's a lot of technical stuff we need to know. Here in Canada, the trade of refrigeration is a 33-week program over 4 years with 6,210 work-based hours and 990 technical training hours. All of that is to say there's a lot to learn. Personally, I loved going to school every year. Usually, it was during the months of the year where it's great to be inside of a warm classroom. Plus, I'll forever be grateful for an amazing instructor who is passionate about the trade and passionate about teaching it. Each year, I look forward to coming back to school even more than the last. We shared stories, used real-world examples to help teach, and ultimately learned and grew together. Back in the field each year, I started to see it clearly. The learning that truly stuck didn't come from being told the answer. It came from being part of the solution. And so that's exactly why I use the method I do now when I teach and train. When someone gets stuck, I don't just give them the answer. I guide them through it, question by question, until they feel like they figured it out for themselves. Because they did. I just help to direct and support the process. Now, this type of teaching is called Socratic Engagement. This is a method of teaching and learning where you teach by asking your students questions. Okay, so it's a little more complex than that, but if you think about using this method of question asking in a presentation or a video, you can actually still make it work. I'll explain why. In cognitive science, there's a term called the illusion of explanatory depth, or the illusion of understanding. This is a bias that people have where they overestimate their understanding of complex topics, believing they know more than they actually do. Let me give you two common things often used to demonstrate this: a zipper and a speedometer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think you understand how these things work? Very few people ever say less than 5 out of 10 on either of them, and most people will say 7 out of 10 or higher. Then when you ask them to actually explain how they work, it's quickly revealed that people, for the most part, have no idea, because trying to explain things reveals the gaps in knowledge. This is why, in the trades, most people can explain the what about theory, but they struggle with the why behind it. Socratic engagement solves this problem. We start with connection, and I talk about this more in another video, but connection in this context means we have to meet people on level ground. We have to establish where their knowledge is at, and then we build together from that point by asking them questions that helps reveal knowledge they didn't even know they had. Socratic engagement is how and why we learn the way we do in the field. For tradespeople, it's less about a technique and more about who we are as learners and teachers. This is Socratic engagement in its purest form. Not academic, not theoretical, but lived. Let me give you an example. In HVAC and refrigeration, a huge portion of what we deal with is electricity. And until you understand it, electricity can feel obscure or even a little mysterious. And like a lot of the theory we learn about, most people first learn it through memorization. To take a more Socratic approach, you would start with things that people already understand from everyday life. You begin with what they know. You might ask something like, when you buy things at the store that plug into the wall at home, are they all rated for the same voltage or different voltages? Now, this is just one example. Depending on your audience, you may need to start even farther back. This is simply one example I use when I'm trying to explain a specific concept. Most people already know that in their kitchen, they've got multiple outlets on the same breaker. And most people also know that breakers are rated by amperage. So then you lead them into it. Each breaker has a specific amperage, not voltage. So what causes a breaker to trip when too many things are plugged in? Voltage or amperage? And then you can follow up on that by asking, are the things we plug in rated for the same voltage or the same amperage? Now, when you draw out your wiring diagram exercises, people suddenly have something they've seen, heard, and experienced to anchor these new rules and equations to. And so this becomes tangible. If you've liked what you've seen, check out more of my videos to see how I put these principles into practice, or reach out anytime. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.